Hello, BookTube. I know you're probably sick of seeing my face, but I have a little more mail to show you. I thought, why not? I've got one big package that's floppy enough so that I think it's more than one book, and then a box. So that's enough to do a mail. So let's do the big package first and see what's in it. I'm willing to bet this is more than one book. Oh my. Okay, it is more than one book. It's from the great folks at Grove Atlantic. Oh my. Okay. Wonderful. All right. So, the first one is due in early November. It's a new hardcover. I think we saw it on this channel in advance copy. This is James Holland. This is Big Week. Massive air campaign during World War II. Right in my sweet spot. The dramatic story of the Allied air campaign that paved the way for D-Day during the third week of February in 1944. The combined Allied air forces based in Britain and Italy launched their first round-the-clock bomber offensive against Germany. Their goal was to smash the main factories and production centers of the Luftwaffe while also drawing German planes into aerial battle of attrition to neutralize the Luftwaffe as a fighting force prior to the cross-channel invasion. It was called the Big Week, and this is the first one-volume history of it in a popular press that it's had in forever. James Holland is the author of a 2-volume, so far, History of World War II. And the other thing that Grove Atlantic sent is the paperback of the second volume, The Allies Strike Back. Lovely thing. Wonderful. This will have all the blurbs. I'm pretty sure it won't have my blurb. I wrote a review of it, but I'm pretty sure I'm too small fry because this was, it was faded and reviewed everywhere. Yeah, it doesn't have a blurb for me on the book. Let's see if it does on the pub sheet. I would go for that. I would take that. No, okay. Well, that's all right. That's all right. I loved it. I thought it was really, really good. So I highly recommend it. Now that it's out in paperback, this will be, what, $20? Yes, $20. Okay, so to James Holland. Very nice. And then we have the box. We won't go long on this video. I just wanted to show you the rest of the mail. That's all. What is in the box is from W.W. Norton. They are my favorite publisher. So it could be something really good. Oh, I dropped the pub sheet here. There we go. What have we got here? Okay. All right. I think we saw the advance copy of this. This is due in November, mid-November, and this is the finished copy by Kate Williams of The Betrayal of Mary, Queen of Scots. And it is one of the rare instances of popular Tudor fiction, or history, in 2018. There hasn't been the usual flood of it. And this is, it'll be a familiar story to those of you who know Tudor history or anything, or Mary Queen of Scots' story. That let's see here. Kate Williams' riveting and authoritative new history tells the story of Elizabeth of England and her betrayal of Mary Queen of Scots. At the end of the Tudor era, there were 2 women on 2 thrones. But this was a man's world, and many believed that no woman should govern. All around Elizabeth and Mary were sycophants, spies, and detractors who wanted their power, their favor, and their bodies. And so they became one another's closest confidants in their struggle to be both women and queen. Alliances were few, but for many years theirs survived. Until the forces rising against them, all the struggles of love and dynasty drove them apart. It was a schism that would end in secret assassination plots, devastating betrayal, and eventually the signing of Mary's death warrant by Elizabeth's hand. And I remember when I read that originally in the advance copy, it struck me as a little strange. I still haven't got to the book. Shamefully, I still haven't got to the book. But it struck me as a little strange because it removes Elizabeth from the equation. When they weren't just, sisters in arms against a whole string of plots. They also plotted against each other ceaselessly. And not just little things. They plotted to kill each other. So I'd be interested to know what this author does with that. Kate Williams is, oh, goodness gracious. Okay, the advance copy didn't have a picture. She's lovely. Absolutely lovely. And in a Tudor way. Doesn't she kind of look like a Tudor? That's kind of strange. Probably she has some blood. But she's the author of the New York Times bestseller Becoming Queen Victoria, Young Elizabeth, and Ambition and Desire, a biography of Josephine Bonaparte. She serves as the CNN's royal historian and appears regularly on television and radio as a historical advisor. And I confess I wasn't over the moon about any one of those 3 books, but I liked the subsurface of how they were done. They didn't sing, in my opinion. So I will, now that I finally sit down with this one, especially since I pretty much have to, it's coming right up. So we have The Betrayal of Mary Queen of Scots. We have Big Week, by James Holland, and also a new in paperback is the second volume in his big history of World War One, a big narrative history of World War One. Terrific reading. So there you go. All history, just the kind of book all I like, and that'll do it. That's nice and short. A minimum of ranting, a minimum of books. That covers us for today. I don't think you'll be seeing this face again until tomorrow. So I'll see you then. Thank you, BookTube.